Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are both running on a Medicare for All plan, and they really mean for all. They promise to give free medical care to everybody who's here illegally. It's about 22 million people. That number is rising, and of course it will rise dramatically if this new handout becomes law. But let's pretend it won't. Let's pretend the number stays static at 22 million. How much would it cost to give free health care to the illegal immigrants already here? Well, according to a new calculation by the American Enterprise Institute, Medicare for All would cost about $10,000 per person per year. So multiply that by 22 million illegal immigrants, and you get to $220 billion every year. Now, even in an era of supersized numbers, that's a ton of cash. That is, for some perspective, 10 times the entire budget of NASA. It's also more than the current Veterans Administration budget, the VA budget, which means America would quite literally be spending more on illegal immigrant health care than it does on veterans. That's their plan. Melissa Francis is co-host of Outnumbered. She also hosts over at Fox Business and, thankfully, is a frequent guest on the show. She joins us tonight. So you're the numbers person. You're one of the good people who went to Harvard. Assess our math. It's true. There aren't many. You're one.
Well, thank you.
Assess our assessment. Are the numbers that we're throwing out there correct?
I mean, it's interesting because the number that you quote on the number of illegal aliens that are in the country, who knows what that number really is, right? I mean, there's no way of knowing. MIT was the latest one to do a study with Yale, but I'll focus on MIT because they're very good at math. And they were the ones that came up with this idea of 22 million people. But the point is, if you do all that math out, it doesn't even really matter because we already can't pay for Medicare for all. And I don't mean we can't pay for it in the sense of, you know, oh, we'd have to tax the middle class. I mean, like, there isn't the money at all. And I don't know why more people don't press Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, for that matter, on this. Because even when Bernie Sanders admits that taxes would have to go up dramatically on the middle class, that still wouldn't do it. If you confiscated all the money, I told you this before, but if you took away every single dollar that every person who makes more than $200,000 a year makes, and you threw them into an abyss somewhere to die, and you took all their money, it still would not pay for Medicare for all. Yes. So what difference does it make if we add a lot of illegal aliens? Why don't we add Canada? They're nice people. I mean, why not?
No, but see, that's exactly it. No, they are nice. And by the way, I have always thought, and I still think, that most illegal aliens are probably nice people. I mean, they came here because they like America. Well, so do I. I get it. And most Americans like immigrants, really like them. If you want to make Americans hate immigrants, give free health care to illegals, because that will engender resentment. Why wouldn't it? Most Americans aren't able to pay for the health care they want. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's absolutely true. I mean, the reason why people love Medicare, and if you talk to seniors in Florida, they love it. It's because they use 4 times as much in dollar terms as what they've paid in. That obviously can't work on a larger scale. It means everybody else is supporting this group. They're the elderly. We love them. We're happy to do it. You can get the Medicare add-on insurance, but you can't put the whole population on that. But, you know, it's amazing to me. Democrats and a lot of people in D.C., including Republicans, I think they think math is a myth. Math is like a vast right-wing conspiracy. They're allergic to math. I mean, they don't want to do any of these numbers because it would make everything impossible. And it is depressing when you can't pay your bills and you continue to rack up credit card debt. Who wants to sit down and crunch those numbers? Certainly not the politicians in Washington. But the truth is that there literally isn't enough money for Medicare for all. It's not about who can you tax, because if you raise taxes on everyone, it still wouldn't pay for it.
They're liars.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to. Melissa Francis,
it's
great to see you tonight.
Yeah,
it is,
good to see you
actually.
too. Yeah, it's really disingenuous. See you later.